If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as follow me and subscribe to me on all my other social media platforms. What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back with another album review for you guys. And today I am talking about another big one that came out on August 18th, and that is the latest offering from Adrift, Ghost in the Gallows. So this also came out August 18th, this time on Century Media Records. And, well, I was curious to check this one out because I've never listened to a full Adrift album. I've heard songs, and I liked what I heard. Now, of course, I know about Adrift. I first became aware of this band thanks to the founding member Nate Garrett being a former guitarist for current death metal masterminds Gatecreeper, and this was his band. Starting off as more of a doom metal band, and then kind of merging it with classic heavy metal. Now they're just more of a classic heavy metal band with occasional doom parts. And this album, holy shit, does it really embrace classic heavy metal to the fullest. Right out of the gate with Give Her to the River, which I love how the opening and closing tracks are the longest of the album. Give Her to the River, about 7.5 minutes, starts off with some beautiful clean guitar lines, followed by big riffs and melodies that kind of remind me of old school Metallica to some degree, and then it just gets galloping along with the rhythm and the riffs, very similar to Iron Maiden. And then this track, as well as, I would say, another song that kind of brings it, actually, funny enough, in the closer, Ghost at the Gallows, both of those songs will bring in like a big triumphant melodic tremolo riff, which those are really the only songs where you get like really fast guitars like that, where they're going more tremolo but done in a more triumphant melodic sensibility. Now, I do love how also on this whole album, one of the big things about it that I really liked, the lead work on this album is just absolutely flying. Like most, I would say about 90% of the leads you get on this album are either ripping or harmonized, like these guitar harmonies between Nate Garrett and new member Tom Draper, who was primarily a live member of Carcass over the past 5 years up until 2021. But both Nate and Tom do a great job trading off of one another, or not colliding, but coming together with these guitar harmonies all across the album. Like Give Her to the River, Barn Burner. I would say the song Barn Burner is probably the most straightforward rocker out of the whole bunch, because it has a very much a Thin Lizzy vibe to it that I really liked, especially in the harmonies on the guitars. Definitely have a lot of Thin Lizzy to them. And I would say These Two Hands and Death Won't Stop Me, more great harmonies with the guitars that really come in quite well. Now, Hangman's Revenge. Now, this song is maybe the fastest song of the album. It's a galloping D-beat stomp for the most part, but then the riffs that come along, I immediately got to thinking of a band like Diamond Head. And then even in the breakdown, you get the first instance of Pantera influence. Like, there's little hints of Pantera peppered in on a couple of songs. This was really the first time I kind of ran into that. Now, These Two Hands, I hope I said Hangman's Revenge for the previous track, but anyways, These Two Hands was very much like a acoustic ballad, like a doom ballad, because about 70% of the song was all acoustic guitars, very somber acoustic guitars with crooning vocals from Nate before big riff that's very doom-laden comes in with a melodic lead to follow, and then even the riffs towards the end get harmonized with the melodies. Ends with a cello, which was very fitting. Death Won't Stop Me. This song mostly has a lot of chug going for it, kind of like Pantera again, but it also has some like melodic progressions that kind of keep it classic heavy metal oriented. And even a nice chug at the very end of the track. Now, the song I Shall Return, this as well as Siren of the South is really where I get the one minor complaint, is that they'll sometimes wear their influences on their sleeve a little bit too much. Like, I Shall Return feels very much like songs like Crazy Train, Bark at the Moon, or I Don't Know by Ozzy. And even, like, some of the licks that you get on here feel very 80s. Even the clean guitars, whenever they come in, like, dong, gling, felt very much like something you would have heard in the 80s, for sure. Siren of the South, on the other hand, this one was another big chugathon of a track. And the opening riff feels very much like My Demons Be Driven by Pantera. And it's very much like a triplet chugging groove track for the most part. Little hints of dissonance, but like melodic dissonance. Before you get to the final breakdown after the clean and acoustic guitars show up, feels more like Metallica again. And then with the title track, probably the doomiest song of the whole album. Like, it's chugging riffs, but it's more of like a doom chug, I would say, and dark, clean guitars before the chorus, and then the melodies kick in the chorus. That triumphant tremolo melody returns, and then it ends, or it gets towards the end where the clean and acoustic guitars come in and it creates that somber atmosphere, perfectly describing the song of someone going to the gallows before they die. And then it leads into an incredible lead with great harmonies once again. I mean, again, lead work and guitar work across the board was fantastic. The drums are very much varied. D beats, some groove sections, some doom parts. And then as far as the bass in the mix, it's pretty audible. Like, the bass is pretty much right there in the mix. And the mix and the production, really, really solid. Still has a little grit to it for a modern sound, but the mix was well executed. Like, everything for the most part you can hear evenly, and nothing weighs in on top of the other. So, like I said, the one complaint I would have is that with I Shall Return and Siren of the South, like I said, they may be wearing their influences on their sleeve a little bit too much, but it's not really a problem, because I like Ozzy, I like Pantera, so there you go. If you are a fan of Iron Maiden, Metallica, Black Sabbath, Pantera, you're going to find a lot on this album you will love. I give this one 9 out of 10. This was some great classic old school heavy metal with some added twists, and I am now a Spirit Adrift fan. But of course, this is all just my opinion. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of Spirit Adrift's Ghosts at the Gallows. And until next time, keep your horns high and your dreams wet.